Hello, welcome to this new webinar. This is the first webinar of the year, 2023. As usual, we will talk about the dam. It was a French webinar. We tried to do a mix of French and English, but as you are asking for, I'm just going just alone in behalf also of with Malika, but I tried to figure out in half an hour most of the content we provided during the webinar. So one of the things, of course, we have to start is Happy New Year to everybody. So healthy, prosperous, and finally all the success for you, your families, and yours. So who we are. So sorry, it's French text, but I will do the voiceover. So we are a consultancy company, independent one. We are a growing team. So as you will see, we are more than 10 today, and we are experts in digital asset management, but beyond it more or less finally all the marketing side from DAM, PIM, and CMS since the last 20 years. So myself and Malika, we had a deep dive experience by customers, retailers, agencies since 2000 more or less, and our DNA is really to we're agnostic, and the DNA is really to help the customer, to be on the customer side on the daily basis. So regarding the vertical markets, we are talking about and working with brands, retailers, brand luxury agencies, packaging, CPG, which are the main vertical markets. Some of our references, of course, it's very French and Arab driven, but it's also worldwide. And something which is very interesting is at the end of the day, each of these customers is using a different DAM system. So which is a clear representation finally that we have this expertise to manage different DAM systems. We are agnostic regarding the DAM system, but of course we are trying to enhance the customer experience, and especially at the top of DAM system of integrations. So reason why we have some partners regarding the technology. So regarding the some standard, just like the IPTC, the management of some rights management with CEPIC, but also with IQ Equity Software Company, with Activo, CI Hub, etc., Ipsit, Bria, Print, etc., and Fadel. This is a team of experts. So Malika and myself, we have more than 20 years of experience. We have a CTO as Dean. So it's a growing team. In about 1 year, we are more or less twice. Driven by your experience, with project manager, librarians, which is very important as soon as you want to tackle and to manage and organize the assets for your end customer. And more or less, the services we are providing is really all the flow from the asset creation to the distributions, migration of assets, vocabularies, taxonomies, onboarding, change, and of course, at the end of the day, training sessions. We really like to and great intent to work with some of the best breed in the DAM, and especially a very great partnership with IQ Equity Software and Mark Davy alongside the 10 Core and the new DAM playbook, IPTC and the CEPIC one. And of course, the DNA finally at the end of the day, as soon as you want really to start with a DAM system, it's all about this 10 core, starting from the ingest, secure, storage, renditions, enrichments, etc. and etc. Of course, it's difficult to start without talking about the last successful DAM events for the second edition on DAM. On DAM in Paris 2022 was able finally to gather more than 250 people in one single place during 2 days. It was also an hybrid event, so we have more or less more than 150 people online. So, and finally at the top, the gathering, all the best class of vendors, of technology partners, and of course at the top in one of the base place, which is, of course, this is my point of view, which is finally one of the best city in the world, and especially the location of Maison d'Alsace, which is at the top of Champs-Élysées, with a stunning view. During the 2 days events, everything was digital finally, because everything was in your pocket, in the smartphone, and still available. And this application will be, in the next few days, the new Activo application, mobile applications. Very happy and delighted. Thanks again to all the sponsors who are able to support the events, to share knowledge and best practices, to share the technologies, to be capable at the end of the day to demonstrate their products. So thank you very much. I can't wait to meet you again. And of course, I will talk a little bit later about the marketing strategy of Activo during 2023. Some of the customer feedback, of course, it's French. So, of course, you have to believe me, but they said that it was fantastic. And more or less, it's all about the inspiration, the way to share with other customers, how they start the DAM system, how they can maintain the team, how can then get some expertise, how they can do some integration with PM and CMS. So a lot of feedback. And of course, especially we have also some English partners, just like Ralph from DAM News was very delighted to be there. We had also, of course, Mark Davy, but also Peter Krog, which is one of the milestones in this industry, with his super well-known back, the book DAM 3.0. And especially during 7, we were able to, in fact, to do some live translation. So even for them, it was easy to follow, to understand, and to ask questions. Before this event, we just started to talk about how many assets you DAM vendors you are managing today. And as you can imagine, it's a lot of them. It's billions of assets, millions of users. It's billions of assets broadcasted every month, etc. in some different countries, a lot of storage and a lot of customers. It's all about a DAM system. And of course, as soon as we're talking about that system, we are talking about rich content. And today it's more or less everywhere. It can be very high definition. Even with your smartphone in your pocket, you can capture 4K footage, very high definition pictures, very large file, just like panoramic, etc. And of course, this year, 2022, was really at the cutting edge, and one of the top subjects was the AI and images. And we can see that a lot of things have changed, just especially regarding the rights management. And we see just in these curves at the bottom right that even websites talking about sharing about content delivered by AI, powered by AI, are growing also in the same time. So, and we are talking more about generative AI. So thanks to our partner Bria, it's a good example of what does it mean from what you can capture and what you can get at the end. Or just like as for example for this car, you can imagine so many things, the car in the context, in different contexts. Or even since a couple of months, libraries just like Stock were able to now power the library with generated AIs. And so we have also different rights management, which is one of our main use cases. Of course, we are talking about UGC, which is also very important. As soon as every customer who has a great experience with one product wants to share, and it's even more engaging when you have the capability finally to select or to make a decision for a product as soon as you can see the product inside the context. So one of the biggest trends. Of course, as soon as we are talking about DAM and images, we are all agreed. It means that this is the foundation of everything. Regarding some trends, it's of course all about e-commerce, and e-commerce it's a growing trend after years, and especially after the COVID things. So this analytics, it's coming from the Fed in France, and it's a little bit more growing. It's maybe not so fast as 2 years ago, but it's still more between 15 and 20% of growth in every countries. And of course, for any brands who wants to sell some products, there are a lot of brands, they have to manage a marketplace, which is one of the biggest piece of technology inside the companies today. So because it's not all about Amazon, but every brand wants to deliver on the different touch points to different I would say some resellers, providers, their products. And one of the key key trends regarding the analytics is all about Content Square. Every year they are delivering a stunning report that you can download. It's all about the traffic. It's all about mobile. It's all about their number of connections, and especially during some special changes like the at the end of the year, Christmas time, etc., or Black Friday. One other trend also, it's all about the security, and especially due some events, as we know, since 1 year. Most of the technology stack today are driven by APIs. That's good because we can do so much amazing things, providing some stunning experience. But it's also some weakness regarding some attacks you can get in your system. So really you have to pay attention. But of course, as soon as we are talking what can, at the end of the day, what can make the difference in order to go to a DAM system, we are talking about always the same things, which are always the biggest trends. It's all about to solve some customized issues. We need to provide a personalized experience with more engagement. And of course, at the end of the day, the DAM is one of the things at the top that can leverage the brand as it is. During on DAM, we're also talking about the footprint, which is very important because that's one thing to be able to manage assets, but we know that we have some libraries, we have so many things, so many duplicates, etc. And just at that moment, this year in 2023, the footprint is regarding the digital is 4%, and it will be 10 in 2035 regarding some analytics. And of course, as soon as we are talking about this impact of the footprint, we are talking about the storage, the capability to optimize the content, and especially regarding renditions and the distribution of the assets, which is very important because you can really save a lot of back and forth between Paris and New York, as for example. And finally, it's still a main target that every customers from one asset, which is the core of the DAM system, you can deliver. But now you need to deliver through CDN, Content Delivery Networks, the ability cross-role to deliver the right format on the right support and device. So we are talking about WebPeer, AVF, HEC, and etc. So a DAM, as you know, it's the one single place as an engine for your assets and your metadata, and only a DAM system, a true DAM system, can perform these two main tasks. And as soon as you're back to the lifecycle of the assets, it's all about the ingest. And now we have so many type of files, from images, artworks, 3D and large videos. And the scope is really regarding this lifecycle. And depending regarding your DAM systems, between metadata workflows, approval, AI, and etc., you need to deliver the same content in various wide range of formats in so multiple channels. One thing is important because we are talking about distribution of assets. It's all about the traceability, and so people like Imattack, they are good in order to deliver such experience, in order to try to monitor your asset outside of DAM. But as soon as we are talking about the DAM system inside the organization, it's all about also integration, and more, and especially here on our side, very often we are starting from a PIM project and after a DAM system, okay? And it's very important for us to get two different systems. The database of asset management is really dedicated to manage documents and files, where a PIM is really dedicated to manage products. Okay. Also, it's all about the integration regarding CMS, which is the brand portal. So we have different technologies, headless or not, etc. But that's one way to provide a stunning experience at the end. And of course, at the enterprise level, you can see here with this nice and super well-known figure from Activo that the DAM is a foundation. You have something at the top as the reference of metadata in between the PIM2 as a glue, more or less, to manage the data lake of the company. And the clear representation of that is one of our customer who has two different systems, lot of contributors, different channels to distribute the contents. Another example is one from this Pimvenok Coable, a French one. So you can see that the PIM is very connected to everywhere from PLM, DAM system, translations, marketplaces, and etc., and print channels. One of our also main trends, I will say since a couple of times, but really since last year, is the way to manage your photo workflows. And we see more and more, especially for some retailers, they are not using the DAM as we could imagine using a DAM system, which means that they have some capabilities just like ground shooting. Ground shooting is providing a very advanced full SaaS system to start from the capture to manage the approval, retouching of your images, connected to the data lake of the company, finally, whatever is coming from PIM, marketplaces, and etc. And at the end of the workflow and the flow, you can deliver the content, the right one at the right time inside the DAM. Okay. So this is an example of how it looks like. Finally, it's not a technical architecture view, but it's more like to give you some highlights how different systems can connect together. Another example is from Comedia. Comedia is a headless CMS vendor, and this is also a good representation. As soon as you are landing on the customer side, you have to connect so different data from everywhere, and it's also a challenge at the end of the day for CMS vendor to gather all this content in one place. And this one is of course super well known from the Mac Alliance. It's finally this headless view for microservices, API, cloud, and headless. So, and at the end of the day, we are talking headless. Why? Because you just need to manage and to spend the time to manage your content. For the display, it's all about something that you can deliver using APIs, and every customer has its own experience. So you cannot provide hundreds of thousands of front ends. As soon as we're talking about DAM system, it's all about the creativity. And of course, one of the things which is, thanks to our partner, CM, they're able to deliver, to connect so many systems. It's not all about DAM. It can be the PIM, ERP system. It can be cloud storage, because when you are asking to a designer, he has files everywhere. So he has to pick up some files from a Dropbox or from Box, to pick up some images from Shutterstock or Stock, and etc., and then backwards to a DAM system. And finally, this view is a good representation of what looks like a DAM inside at the enterprise level between marketplaces, photo shooting, APIs, and marketplaces. So one of the questions we have to ask, and this is the purpose and the DNA of this webinar, so how I can start finally with a DAM system. So this super well known from Chief Martech Landscape Technology Stacks is from Scott. It's after years, it's 10% more. So we are nearly to 10,000 solutions, and DAM system is just a niche inside this, I would say, this ocean of solutions. Okay. So of course, as soon as you want to say, who is the best one? It's not really about the technology, but more about use cases. So of course, Gartner and Forrester are providing some stunning content alongside, but as you can see, it's not all about solutions, and of course, it's the way your position is you have, I would say, the biggest vendor, but not all of them. So that's one view that you can take into account, of course. But since a couple of times and years, and thanks to Mark Davy and Ike Equitesoft Company, we are even working more with them in order, because we do believe that the 10 core capabilities and the DAM playbook is one of the core as soon as you want to select the right path to a DAM system. So it's all about the vendor comparisons, or with different dimensions, 10 core, 22. You can compare all of them, different use cases, scenarios, etc. And at the end of the day last year, after 1 year to experience such DAM system implementation with our customers, we wanted to get something larger. Which means that at the end of the day, it's not a competition, it's not a race. Okay, so wherever you are, it's more important to be there. And after that, we have two different ways. You have a strategy, and you have a complexity. Complexity is more all about the complex system, because you need to get some deep dive integration to be technical at one stage. where, of course, with SaaS solutions, you are even more with something very simple, but sometimes it cannot do the job, so you need sometimes something more complex. So it's always a mix, and of course, we will see finally how you can challenge them. It's all about also the vertical markets, and you will not make the same decision as soon as you have to manage complex artwork packaging or video footage to broadcast or images connecting inside the ecosystem of a brand. So as usual, we are all the same 6 steps. So it's about the analysis. It's all about the resource audits, about recurrence gathering, governance, demo scenarios, and then you can start selecting your DAM system. So our DNA and in what we do believe is you do not have one solution, because every customer is one single experience in its own ecosystem. So it's very important finally to spend the time to gather the people, to talk about what you need, how you are working, and how we adapt this can help you regarding your usage. So it's very important to really spend the time to gather every people from their communication, marketing, IT, etc., talking about finally where, because at the end of it, it's all about the data also inside the company, so where it's coming from. And then you can start doing some RFI, RFP to provide some demo scenarios. And then you can also perform some technical tests, and at least as we are every time saying test. So it's very important to start even a proof of concept. Okay. And also to manage such strategy, you need to get agile approach. So reason why the DNA of our commitment and engagement is all about the design thinking. It's all about this back and forth between the people to finally to get the information, to get the requirements, to set up, to come back to the people, and then after milestones we can deliver and be successful. So it's all about the people, and we are trying really to be, and especially during the COVID and even now, still trying to gather the people wherever they are, so they can be on the beach somewhere in this world, but as soon as they are connected, so they can participate to a klaxon board where they can gather their ideas all together. And with this super well-known hype curves, you can see finally, sometimes you have some, you are at the top, sometimes you are not really in a good position, but at the end of the day, you can figure out and be successful. As the CEO of the mission is saying, it's all about the people. Technology is just 5%. Of course, you need to select the right one. Also, just to end up this very, I would say, a fast summary of a webinar we did just yesterday. It's about the Academy. We are launching this beginning of this year, and it will be all in one in the Activo application. Okay, mobile application, and of course it's all about courses, trainings, and also to get some, I would say some label regarding and certifications regarding the usage of the DAM system. Regarding the marketing events, so of course, even if UNDAM 2022 is just behind us, we are already starting to start with 2023. And of course, in between, we have one main milestone in France just before summertime, which is All for Content. And we are trying really to help the organization to make as one other point. But this year also introduce Activo Green. And Activo Green will be it's a very short time at the end of a day, during a couple of hours, together experts, vendors, customers, in order to talk about how they can improve the planet, in fact. So stay tuned, stay connected, continue to follow us. And this year was just a stunning KPIs regarding the Activo TV. Nearly, we are very close to the 1 million viewer followers. But beyond the analytics, it's all about the content, and we are very happy to share everything we are doing with you, and especially through the blog. So more or less every 2 weeks we are trying to to share an experience, to share analysis, or to share any testimonies of a customer. So if you just want to follow us, it's just simple. If you want to contact us, you have the website, you have LinkedIn, you have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, every channel, just like as a brand. Subscribe to our channel YouTube so you can get notified as soon as we have new content. You have a good podcast, and of course also very soon the Activo application. So thank you all. Thank you to we were very honored to get your all the everything we share all together through projects, conferences, wherever you are, a customer and a vendor. Thank you very much, and super happy new year.